into it and talk about the drafts. But while we do that, how about we just start the replay? And would you agree, How? And then we'll talk about the drafts.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we're going to start this in 3, 2, 1, and play. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the left, I'm quite sure would be, that's Agorable. So that's Juwon on the Quang, Whitey on Narbash, High Primate on Sparrow, Microbic Walnut on Countess, and Ankia or Anchor on the Fae. And on the right, we have Team Artifice. In Team Artifice, we have Get Swifty, aka the Big Boy Ting, on the Rampage, Naretsu on the Muriel, King Pav on the Howie, Lonely Boy on Twin Bloods, and the little boy Avils, aka Bevan, on the Grux. What are your thoughts so far on the team compositions? Just purely the team matchups there, Howie.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I did notice that That's Agorable have banned Bellica. So they're obviously doing that to try and deny it from Pav. Pav is known to play a pretty hot Bell. That said, I kind of think that that's a bit of a ruse because Pav also wrecks with Howie. So we'll see how that works out. Artifice have banned Deca. Not really a great deal of surprise there. Number 1 ban this season for sure. Yeah, as far as team composition, what are your thoughts?
A very interesting composition between the two, obviously, because when you look at That's Agorable, I guess there's a few comfort picks here, so definitely Microbic on the Countess there. So it looks like they're kind of half playing, I guess, single target style fights, if that makes sense. If there is any team fights, though, there could be a combo happening between Narbash, the Fae, and Quang if he tethers right, but if not, then kind of feels like they might have to play that single target game. Whereas on the other side of Artifice, it looks like they've kind of built more tankier, if that makes sense. They've got front lines pretty much. They're ready to just be up in their faces. And also Muriel just to add that extra, I guess, shield for that added value. But I think it's an interesting match.
Pull to the mid, we can see a Vils lurking over here in mid lane. Looks like he and King Pav might be setting up something on Ankiri. They're going in. Oh!
Gets the mine out. Gets the mine. First blood at 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Intense. Lovely little play there. Set up by Vils.
Looks like Avils going to the green jungle straight, pulling in Juwon. He might be getting that green. No, he does not get that green, but King Pav is coming in as well, fighting Juwon. Juwon might be going down here. I don't know, but Avils gets the kill on Juwon.
Damn.
It looks like Anchor is coming in. The whole team is coming in. They don't want Artifice to come in. They want Avils. Avils goes down, and it looks like Pav might be going out. Looks like action just straight off the bat.
Run and gun.
It's interesting because they rotated really well there. So that's a credit to That's Agorable because
absolutely. Good counterplay.
Hey, can we get a counter happening for absolutely on the chat?
It started already.
It has started, absolutely. But King Pav grabs both buffs here, and looks like Anchor might be in trouble. Sorry. But with the black buff, forces Anchor to go back to mid on half health. So it looks like old boy Bevan over here.
Boy looks like he's setting up for a bit of a play over here on Ryan. Microbic very low.
Very aggressive. And then back to mid, Avils just misses that there and he falls back. So there's a lot of action happening here. It looks like there's a lot of split fights. So all lanes are pretty much fighting on their own, if that makes sense. But it's quite interesting to see that Artifice are very aggressive, and That's Agorable are responding to these fights if they can. So very interesting already. It's only been 4 minutes. Are you excited, Hal?
Yeah, they're doing well. Just checking it out, as far as CS is concerned, it looks like Artifice are slowly pulling into the lead with 56 versus 41 for That's Agorable. So not too much of a difference, but, it begins.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, with CS as well, you kind of don't want that to tail off too much because that does translate into CP and XP as well. So you'd hope that That's Agorable will either try to sit and farm play defensively or just try to stop Artifice from actually farming.
Because obviously,
for real, you're changing your agreements.
Special shout out. Naretsu has asked me to try and get in the triple absolutely. I'll see if I can
Speaking of shout-outs there, shout-outs to Swifty there, aka the Big Boy Ting. I know your housemates are watching, so I thought I'd give you a special mentions there. No pressure. Hopefully you land some Kobe rocks because we are going to keep our eyes on you.
Good stuff.
But it looks like it's quieting down there, Hal. Buffs have been up, so looks like Pav has taken the black, and it looks like the other buff has been taken. But something may happen here. Ju1's coming in mid. Is he going to get a tether on Pav here? He doesn't get the Pav. No, he doesn't. But Avils comes in to respond real fast as well. Misses the stun there. He does a download, and he gets tethered by Ju1. Beautiful counter. That was a beautiful tether there by Ju1 there. So it looks like there's no ganks happening, or potentially maybe, because Abel's got the black buff and he's coming in. He wants something there. Ankia might be going down for the counter here, and he does. And it
lovely
looks
play.
like he gets out. But Ju1 is in middle there. He wants to respond because he wants a trade here. He might be going down. He gets a tether. He is low, and he's running.
1v2.
He gets R2K to the face, or the back rather. So
What a madman. He got thirsty there. He got thirsty. I don't think that was a strong engage.
Yeah, I mean, definitely agree, because obviously Ju1, it was great to respond, but it was a bit too slow with the response, and he overcommitted there. Speaking of overcommitments, if we look at Mario and Loretzi, and Lilyboy, they are pushing hard and playing aggressive against Microbic. And in the inverse, Swifty is holding his own against White Tin High Primate. So it looks like the other two lanes, there's no action on, I guess, White Tin High Primate's end, but definitely a lot of action over on Lonely Boy Noretsu's end. What are your thoughts? How on, I guess, how the the carry and support are playing on each team's end there?
Just checking out Lonely Boy and Noretsu. You know, it looks like Noretsu's kind of doing a bit of a wander, kind of exploring, laying down some wards, etc. Lonely Boy is a strong farmer. He can generally take care of himself, and they've got wards to cover, so they're pretty well set there. They're probably going to start fiercely pushing this. We're sitting at 7 minutes into the match, so they want to start setting up for Raptors. I'm pretty sure Lonely Boy looks like he's going to back now, just in preparation for that. It's like we've got a Vils lurking on River again. He is running back into jungle, just doing jungle things. Meanwhile, checking out White Team High Primate. What's happening over here?
It's a bit quiet. It looks like White Team High Primate are just trying to stick with each other, you know, play it a safe game, if that makes sense. Because I'm not too sure if they really want to push against the Rampage, because you don't really see much off-lane Rampages these days, but it is viable because obviously a Rampage does have the escapes. But what that means is, at the same time, if he lands a rock on Sparrow, that does do damage. Like, you're talking about 100 to 200 damage there per stun. But speaking of which, looks like Abels wants to make a play here. Little Bevan.
Yeah, pushing on Ju1.
Looks like Little Bevan is thirsty for something here. Maybe it's blood of Microbic, because he's running in. He ults there. He gets that pull in. There's 4 of them there. Microbic gets pulled back and gets R2K to the face. Looks like Artifice have started their movements. It's already 8 minutes and 30 seconds in, and they really are wanting to make some plays here, because obviously Raptors are up in a minute and a half, and they need to, I guess, create some map space for that farm.
For real, they've all grouped on that tower, 4 of them in there. Avil's going into enemy jungle, just maintaining dominance. They've got wards across OP. They're really getting their ward coverage. Aggressive warding by Artifice.
Yeah, if you look at the wards, actually, it looks like a triangle. Must represent Illuminati.
Confirmed.
No Illuminati emote train, guys.
Illuminati emote train.
Yeah, but in saying that, it's 9 minutes in, and it looks like there is movement towards Raptors, or preparation for Raptors, because obviously everyone needs to go to ASAP, or at least create that space, because what that means is space creation for CP as well.
You see what Artifice have done here. So they've made sure they've got full health. You've got Ju1 on the Agorables at low health. You've got White T sitting at half mana. They're not set up in a space where they're going to be able to contest this strongly at this point in time.
That's a lob. No, but Swifty misses that rock. I've asked Swifty to do some Kobe rock throws, so if he does do it, guys, and you do see it, let us clip it up for us. Let us know because we're all about the plays here at Crucis eSports. But in saying that, there is a pull and white here. There, she might be going down. Wow, that was a
boom!
That was a melt there, and they're gonna get wrapped this here. And it looks like that's Agorable is slowly rotating, but I don't think they'll be there in time because it looks like Artifice is gonna get that so fast because those Raptors are dropping like a hot knife on butter.
That was a strong play there. Strong word play too by Sosa. Love it. Yeah, great plays so far. As far as the real estate is concerned, it looks as though Artifice aren't being too aggressive. I mean, that said, they have pulled forwards. They're 190 versus 156 in their CS versus the Agorables. King Path and Lonely Boy both on 18 CP, whereas the highest on the Agorables is 13, and that's Microbic Walnut.
Looks like they're going for Lonely there. It's 3 over there, and Noretsu gives off a quenching scale. So
Vils chasing Microbic. Oh no, he's backing up.
So it looks like Lonely Boy is playing very aggressive here, and he knows he can do that because he's got probably his best support. Noretsu covering his back there.
We have Pav Invis and a Vils with green buffs, like just lurking in mid.
Anki might be in trouble actually, and she
lands a pull. Oh, damn! Wow. Lovely play.
How fast she drops just with 1 R2K. How literally
absolutely
was
vaped.
1/3 of her health drops.
Yeah, that is vicious.
Speaking of which, Lonely Boy gets a kill there, and looks like High Primate is in trouble there on the safe.
A Vils coming around as well onto Higher Primate. Oh, the dodge. Oh.
Yeah, at the same time, Jubon did take a kill on Lonely Boy, and he is trying to kill Noretsu, but falls back. So it looks like it was a 1v2 trade there, and that was in favor of Fizz there, only by 1 support. But in saying that, I better stop saying that, or I'll get a count on me. But
can we please get a count in the chat, folks?
I'm gonna change my. Anki gets
your verbal tick.
Oh. Yeah, that's it.
It's alright, bro. Everybody has them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting because when you look at lanes right now, Artifice are really pushing ahead with the lanes because right lane is against. That's Agorable. Mid lane is slightly, I guess, broken even, but there's a lot of action happening here on this off lane or safe lane there.
Yeah, Noretsu's sitting very low on health and mana. That said, has the quenching scales, so that's obviously going to drive things up a bit. Let's see, what else is Noretsu running here? Looks like the quenching and the Lord's Ward, so they've got a lot of quenching scales, 2 quenching scales on Artifice's team. Nobody running quenching yet on the Agorables.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous because obviously, Lonely Boy gets a kill on White T. That was a beautiful pick off there at the tier 1s. But as I was saying, you really do need those items for a team fight because when you think about team compositions, supports, and even offlane or junglers. Look, actually, this.
And Kiri might be in trouble here in mid, and Kiri gets bounced. Oh, the combo again!
Massive
King Pav and a Vils having a field day. Poor Ankiri is just getting harassed by that jungler. They're like clockwork, these boys.
Looks like Microbic was going to go for a kill, but he fought back. But yeah, as I was saying earlier on with the Faye, she is an interesting pick, but will only work if there's anyone there to kind of frontline for her because she is squishy. And Artifice know that she's squishy, so they'll punish her because they know they only need 1, let alone 2 people just to go in and spam a small combo and she would be almost dead. Like, if you think about the R2000, that could literally drop her past half health. So I think Anki needs to be careful. But Avils is farming their jungle, aka Bevel. He's falling back. And the Raptors are at the same time getting farmed by Artifice, aka Lonely Boy, to get him that power spike. and Avils does a good job just to kind of pretend or distract
creating a
them.
distraction,
That's
and it's working the charm. If we look at what's happening here, as far as the CP is concerned, Lonely Boy is shot forwards to 27, King Pav on 25, Avils on 22. That's on the team of Artifice.
There was a mini brawl happening. Swifty is going to take a brunt of a few hits, but he's just juking them. He's telling them it tickles because when you look at him, he's tanky and that's Agorable is falling back. At the same time, Lonely Boy is coming in potentially and de-warding them, so they might be falling on him. No, he falls back, dodges that, but he gets tethered. He gets ulted, he blinks up that mighty gosh. Avils comes in there. But there is so much wombo combos happening right now.
Deep. Oh my god.
Primates also in trouble. Naretsu and Lonely Boy get
eyes down.
Oh my gosh. That's
White T's running. Keep going, White T.
Swifty with it.
Wow.
Beautiful wombo there. White T gets dropped. Swifty with the big boy taking rock throw. Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Downtown.
That was awesome. So that was 1 for 4. I'm quite sure, knowing how Artifice plays, they would be looking at trying to do something out of this there, whether that's a tier 2, an early or prime. I've got a feeling
mid pushing this tier 2.
Yeah.
Look, right and left lane are both pushed for Artifice. They've got a CP advantage, heavy CP advantage. You're looking at 31 for Lonely Boy versus 19 for Microbic and Juwan on Agorable. So
it looks like Juwan might be going down here. He's by himself. But it looks like Artifice will be falling back there because their mana is low. So potentially going for all prime. I'd probably
going to back at this point in time, set up for something else. All of the lanes are set for them. They can take a bit of time off, just chill out for a while, I think.
Yeah, it looks like they are all falling back here. Avils has full mana, so I don't think he's been going back, but potentially the river buffs are there as well. So unless they need to buy items, I don't think they'll... Yeah, it looks like they're going back to buying the items. So how is the CP comparison between the two teams?
Let's see. We're looking at a 12-point lead on the two carries at the moment. Sorry, 13-point lead. You've also got King Pav, who's on 30, Lonely Boy on 32, versus Microbic on 20 and Higher Primate on 19. So, yeah, these guys are really getting cut off at the knees. Avils has been strong in his jungle game and in going in and clearing enemy jungle as well as his own. His rotations have been strong. He's a difficult person to be able to counter.
Yeah, he probably knows he could play aggressive as well for two reasons, because that's his playstyle is number one. And number two is he knows that he has Muriel's ult. Speaking of Muriel's ult, Naretsu was about to ult something, but there may be a collapse here on these two here.
Juwan coming in from behind. What's going on? Oh!
Lonely goes.
Damn.
But it looks like Naretsu may be going down. No, he dodges that tether beautifully. Uses himself there. He is running away. But it's funny.
Rabbit.
Run, Naretsu, run, run, Forest, run, and he's running, and he gets out. But at the same time, mid is being pushed against That's Agorable, so That's Agorable, though they have their, I believe, is that their safe lane? Yeah, their safe lane, Artifice's off lane pushed in their favor. The other two lanes are being punished against them, and Raptors are also up, so it looks like potentially Artifice may be trying to capitalize on that when Lonely comes out. Obviously,
Phil's already setting up the ward and D-ward, just getting ready for Raptors, getting ready for his team to rotate in. Everybody's backed and they're preparing for it. Yeah, that's the thing. So, it's really that timing of just preparing, knowing that those Raptors are going to come up and then getting set up for it.
YT is there, doesn't want Avils to D-ward, but he does with his bleed. So it looks like he will get away out and unscuffed. Obviously now he's starting that actual D-ward. Swifty is invisible and he's just gotten rid of it. So it looks like Pav's in the middle just, getting their attention while the team happily gets those Raptors. So that's 3 Raptors out of 3 going to Artifice. And obviously Naretsu does have cooldown in his ult. So if any fights happen that's disconnected, I don't think he'll be able to ult. So this may be a chance for that's Agorable to make a play if they could pick someone off. But how would you go about trying to pick Artifice off? Because they literally respawn very fast.
Look, these guys have excellent rotations. With the kind of team composition that the Agorables have, they really need to be going for single target picks. But that said, at this stage with that kind of lead, I honestly don't know how I would play it. You turtle down, you're going to get cut off at the knees because you're going to lose all of that farm, and these guys are just going to continue to evade and pressure.
There was a mini fight happening. Everyone's just going balls deep there, and no, it's like they're all that's Agorable are falling back there. So they've created the space they need to potentially push or go for all prime.
I can just hear Pav shouting, "Go mid, OP, OP" right now.
Yeah, and you can hear Khan at the back Norette saying, "Calm down, we got this, because he's right in the branch of these people there.
Cheeky bugger.
He's teasing them, saying, "I might be support, but I could still sustain around you guys." So that's kind of a cheeky
doing little pirouette jumps out there.
Yeah, that's right. But Lonely's by himself, so it looks like Artifice, they're really good at creating space for the carry. But there's a fight there on Microbic. He gets put in by Avuz. Avuz is making him bleed. Gets slowed. He gets ulted there. Microbic is trying to run around. He has no mana, so he's going to zigzag. Team responds beautifully to that.
Team responding, yeah.
And it looks like Avuz might be getting caught out here potentially because he is low. He's going
great
to
double jump with the ulties. Hell yes, that was awesome.
Oh, that was a beautiful start by Swifty. Noretzi might be getting out of this. Swifty with those beautiful rock plays there. He's been really... I haven't seen Swifty play Rampage.
Yeah.
It looks like he could throw a Kobe from downtown. Speaking of which, Pav got a kill. So he did do a trade for trade. It looks like Pav and Lonely Boy are trying to make a play here. Lonely gets tethered, but obviously just gets one shot. But it's quite interesting because it kind of feels like Lonely and Pav are even happy to do a 2v3 here if they needed to.
Well, look, with the CP advantage that they have at the moment, that's totally feasible. You know, Lonely Boy's sitting at 40 CP at the moment. You've got Microbic on 27. Microbic's a single, single character hit, and as long as they've got some CC there to just pull that countess off, then they're going to be fine.
Looks like there is a fight happening. High Prime is low. Pav ults. Swifty misses his stun. There is a fight happening. The Ju1 is low and he's chasing. He really wants something, and Ju1 potentially might be going down. Lonely Boy gets dropped by Ju1 there. It's a trade. Ju1 goes down, and it looks like Avuz gets a pull of Microbic. Microbic goes down as well. So it's a 2-for-1. King Pav gets the kill of Microbic. Did I just say that? Because I'm looping in. Right, he goes down by Swifty. My head's going on overdrive because High Primate might be going down as well, and he will be going down. That is 1v4. Oh my gosh, Ankia is by himself, low mana, and it looks like potentially something can happen here, whether that's inhib or prime.
Yeah, look, Lonely ain't so lonely. He's got 4 people there, 3 people with him, pushing up on Ankiri. Ankiri is not going to be able to hold off much. Not a great deal of wave clear, unfortunately, when you're versing these 4.
Yeah, and it looks like they might be trying to chip down this inhib as much as they can because the whole team is out there. Swifty misses his Kobe rock throw there. That was an air ball, but it looks like
Bills as well missing his missed the dash. He did
the dirty Dalu.
Didn't quite get it. Vicious.
They'll be falling back. There's a beautiful tether by Ju1 here. Something may happen, but
he won't ult into that. He knows better.
Yeah, and the team falls back. So it looks like they're heading towards all prime here. So Lonely is already starting off that fight. So it looks like they are going to do all prime because they know all the lanes are pushed in their favor. And that's Agorable don't care because they can see it happening. So Artifice falls back. So
just baiting at the moment. Just trying to rustle some jimmies by the looks of it.
Like last game, just stand there in the jungle and just chill, have some green tea or white tea in this instance.
Awful. You are awful.
They're getting Raptors instead.
Yeah.
That's Agorable are pushing out the lanes, especially mid because they need to. They've got their off lane pushing in their favor. And obviously they're slowly rotating to something. I believe they might be going for Raptors, but it's too late because it's gone like the wind.
And yeah, it's Mid's getting a little bit of damage, but not much.
But it's
Coming in
interesting.
to clean it up.
I'm looking at the, I guess, map control, and Artifice have only lost one tower. So in terms of that's Agorable, they are actually behind in map vision, and that's very dangerous because if Artifice want to do anything, they can control pretty much the whole map potentially with an in-hit gone. So in that's Agorable's case.
2-1 going in on King Pav here. What is happening? Oh, King Pav is low.
There's an ult there, but
The Muriel ult. Oh, and the save.
Lonely Boy is trigger happy, shoots nothing, just as a celebration to say,
Trying to secure.
Moretsu with a beautiful ult there. You can always rely on him to make sure his team don't go down. Or if they do something
fantastic.
you get to save them, that's right. And looks like old boy Bevel wants to make a play here somewhere, but he falls back. And Moretsu is quite close in. It looks like potentially with one hero down, they could make a play on all prime potentially if they could push out the lanes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to push the lanes back and try and get some map control. I'd always, you know, I'm really interested to hear what Artifice's advice would be if the reverse was happening to them, because it's this kind of situation that, you know, I'm sure we've all found ourselves in, where you're pushed back and you don't have the enemy team is snowballed in CP. How do you make plays with this? Obviously, it's going to depend on team composition, but you know, they're in a struggle. I think the CP advantage is sitting at what, 13 at the moment. Yeah, 13 CP. So that's a massive advantage. And that's not just one character. I mean, that's across the board.
Yeah, I think it's partly due to the draft pick, and I think that dictates how the game happens. Because when you do think about
Artifice going in on Juwan in enemy jungle here. Juwan might get out. Oh, YT with the stun. Lovely save there.
Beautiful work there, YT, with the stave. So it looks like Artifice is falling back. They are just trying to, I guess, push that's Agorable back to the base, given that, I guess, mentality that they can't leave the base. Did you just see Noretsu do that alley-oop battle, guys?
What's he doing?
He just right mouse button his alacrity. But Avils is going in right there. He's going to 1v1. Blinks in there. He looks like he might be blinking out there. He does a beautiful
might get the dash back. Yeah, the jukes.
But Pav is there.
Lovely play. Oh.
Pav melts him because Pav says no dice. And it looks like YT might be going down with Microbic. And it looks like there is an ult there. Beautiful save there by Noretsu. Swifty gets the kill on YT. Pav is low as low can be. And it looks like Juwon wants that kill. He gets
Juwon, thirsty,
gets put in though, and he drops though. So I think he might have said worth kicking Pav, but Artifice are still going and playing aggressively here because High Primate and Enkia might be looking at making a play potentially on Swifty and Lenny, but it's hard to say because Swifty is a tank. He's a meat shield. He will make sure that he takes all that damage if anything happens. That tier 2 is low, and he's just teasing that tier 2 there, and the tier 2 does go down, so they are really pressuring the lanes. Swifty with that rock just to let them know that he's ready to throw a rock around, and he's falling back.
Just flipping rocks like burgers. It's just rude, really. Just making sure they don't pop their heads out. The core is under attack. What is going on over here? Yeah, is that just the Winions doing their jobs? Yes, it is. Yeah.
You can always rely on the Winions to do things for you if you set them up right. Artifice are now starting alley-oop again by Noretsu. Beautiful alacrity through there, but gets nothing. But it looks like Raptors again are going to be in the hands of Artifice. They know that they can do that, and it looks like that's Agorable thought that they're going for prime, and they are just potentially just trying to push out lanes, just create some space for them, you know, to farm, which is a smart strategy. But it looks like he's going to get collapsed in there because 2 people by themselves there. Pav blinks YT, beautiful peel.
Oh, the stun locked. YT, absolutely very little she could do there.
Yeah, at this point in the game, literally one R2000 by King Pav with 3 meltdowns literally means half their health because they're so behind in CP. It's going to really hurt. It's going to hurt a lot.
For real. Vicious. It is vicious. I don't know. Can we get a count?
I'm not sure, but there's all prime happening right now as we're speaking here, and that's only by 3 or 2. That's Swifty and Abel starting that, and the whole team is rotating at the same time. That's Agorable, kind of get this funny feeling that it is happening. Pav is just there to zone them out there. He knows that they're going to come in, and he's zoning well because it looks like all prime is in the hands of Artifice.
Yeah, let's clean that up.
Very, very dangerous because it kind of feels like it might potentially be a game if that's Agorable cannot pick a fight, because I've just got this feeling this game, Artifice, they're really peeling and they're doing it quite well with Pav and Abel's picking off those people who are slightly out of position, which is very dangerous for these guys because they will punish anyone that's out of position. So that's a future note for everyone. If you are playing against these guys, make sure you look at your positionings because these guys do
punish
position and they punish hard.
And Kia just loses a fifth of his health to an I-2000 from Pav.
Wow, high
damage.
Half
damage from an R2K, yeah, that's intense.
And he's just gonna sit there and you just see them drop and they're just throwing anything at these guys.
Flaunting his rock, yeah.
Kills them off. Swifty's going in there.
Lovely work.
The whole team is coming in here for the fight there. Wow, looks like Swifty gets to kill the high primate. Ju1 is trying to kill Lonely.
White team's gonna get erased as well. She's down.
Beautiful pickup by Lonely there to save Noretsu. My Kribik blink step there, but he doesn't get away with the Dukes. Kills by himself there. They've got all prime, so they can slowly heal that if they get out of combat. And
he's got hard. He needs to get out. He's getting out. Oh, with the rock.
Beautiful rock there, and it looks like Anki might be going down, and this potentially.
Oh, Lonely Boy with the long shot.
That was beautiful play. Wow, you see the alt on alt, and that is